Hi everybody, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Michael, and you're watching another episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today's story is a very interesting one. The rumor that has been kind of floating around there is that the head sort of bad guy of episode 7 and 8 and 9, sort of the trilogy, is going to be none other than Emperor Palpatine himself, Darth Sidious. And this is... probably you're thinking, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, like, what? Like, that's kind of... Like, it brings a lot of complications to it.
He clearly died at the end. Well, you don't see his body, but at the end of episode 6, like, he gets thrown right off the, like, the balcony or whatever, down, like, the shaft. Like, I don't know. He's also a pretty old man. I don't really expect him to come back. And
there's this huge, like, surge of energy.
Yeah, exactly.
As if it's been, like, he's killed and this is his power being blown up or something. That's the way I always took it anyway.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to have, like, a lot of power in the Force, like the dark side anyway. So, you know, you see his explosion, plus he can shoot electricity, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a stretch to see all these extra lights and stuff come out.
And the initial rumor was that, the initial rumor was that Ian McDiarmid, who played him in all 6 films, well, I guess technically 4, no 5, anyway, but that Ian McDiarmid would be returning to the part. And Latino Review, which we've talked about them before, they are a pretty reliable source in terms of rumors. They're not always correct, but they're saying that he will not be played by him, which to me is a little bit more believable because he's an old guy. And he's not been rumored or connected to the film.
You'd think that because, like, he's famous that they would at least mention that he would be in it or something. Like, I don't know.
But at the same time, if they're like Ian McDiarmid to star in episode 7, then
you would know it's
the cat's out of the bag. So
exactly.
The way the rumor goes is that there is the sort of second-tier bad guys, the Sith Inquisitors. We'll talk about more of that in another episode. But then pulling the strings is him.
Well, there's another option that he could be like in the flashback again or something, where he, like, this is like a master plan that he had before he died, like earlier on and before the original trilogy or something, where like we said before about Darth Vader maybe coming back in like a flashback or something. Maybe the same thing with him. Maybe he has this like flashback of him setting this up for in the events or like in case he dies or something, right?
We have another episode about that, the flashback to Darth Vader. You can find the link in the description for that one. But so they did the same thing with Darth Maul, though, right? It's strongly implied in Phantom Menace that Darth Maul, he's cut in half. The reason Lucas cut him in half was so people knew that he was dead. But yet, in the Clone Wars series, they bring him back as like a mechanical spider thing. So there are ways around it. And
even though that wasn't canon, but, you know.
Well, the Emperor does return in the expanded universe. They have a clone of him in Dark Empire. But one thing they could have done is, like, maybe his body is destroyed, but his spirit is like so strong that it can survive somehow, and it's out there, and I don't know.
Which I always thought was like the light side of the Force could do that, like, you know, Obi-Wan and Yoda.
If you kill me, I'll become more powerful because I'll live forever. I don't know. There's a lot of really strange things about this rumor. It doesn't really add up, but some pretty decent sources are saying this is what they're hearing.
I don't know if I necessarily believe it yet, but maybe we'll hear more about it.
I personally, I can see ways of them doing it, but I'm not really sold on this. But like all this news, I guess we'll see later. Well, what do you guys think? Do you think the Emperor's coming back? If so, how is he coming back? How is this going to work into the story?
We'd like to hear from you. Put it in the comments.
And hit that subscribe button because we'll be back with new episodes all the time. And we'll catch you next episode.